Hello my crafty friends, it's Krista here from Check and Sense Creation. Welcome to my channel, especially for the new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, and I do hope you'll find a bit of inspiration. Now, I have Project Share. More tissue boxes, more envelope, and some eco-dine. So, let's do the tissue boxes because I've done it before, but I've come up with another idea and you'll see what I mean. And I'll put all these away because that's for later. So I've been collecting tissue boxes, as you know, and I have done the Mamagami technique on a couple of them, and I really like the outcome. But now I'm getting quite a few, because when we were sick we went through quite a few tissues, as you can imagine. So I kept them, and some of them are really cool. So let me start. What I've decided to do is I've turned a tissue box into an envelope. And you know how you buy envelopes that have not the soft ones, but they're like a hard, just let me have a look, see if I can explain it better. They're sort of like this. You get them in different sizes, you know, and it's like a thin sort of cardboard style, I suppose. So the tissue boxes are the same, aren't they? So why not utilise them as envelopes? So I have cut them down to make into envelopes. And my whole idea is and I've made matching tags as well. Oh, I forgot to put my little punch hole in here. I think I'm going to back this one with some brown paper because it got damaged. But I'll put that in there so I don't forget, and I'll just punch them out again. So, and they're going to be like little gift cards that go in there as well. So what I've done is I've taken all the sides off, and of course the sides were the scrap so I could use them, and kept the wings on here so that when you put something in, it's, you know, it's not flat. It's got that little gusset style, I suppose you can say. And even though this is like this, what I'm going to do is I've got some packaging material here, which is was a box as well, and that's going to fit into here like that. Let me get one that actually fits. I think I've cut one up here earlier. Here we go. Okay, and I've also put a film over the inside of that, like this. I'll probably stitch it on. I'll just stitch that on around like that, but I like to slip that address card inside so it won't move, okay, and it's protected. And then whoever gets this can just take that out and use the envelope if they wish. Okay, so that's my thought. And yeah, so I've been keeping these to put in there, and obviously, you know, I'll cut that to size because this is a different tissue box. I'm going to make sure I stay in frame for you guys. So yeah, so that'll have to, I'll cut that down a bit. I might even get, no, I won't get, will I get 2 out of that? Have a quick look. Because the openings are not the same. I might get 2 out of that. It's alright. So yeah, so I'm going to use these as envelopes, and they will probably be Happy Mail. and that just sort of goes in there like that, and then the address goes on, and then whoever receives this can pull that out, and they'll have a really cool envelope to maybe put in their journal or reuse again, you know. I don't know, it'll probably have a stamp on, something like that. So that's one of them. And then of course I've cut the remnants off here, which I'm going to back with some brown coffee dyed paper, and that'll be a couple of little you know, tags I'll put in. I'll just throw a little note tag, and might use that as well. So that's how that works. So I've got a few here. Some have got the oval opening, which is okay. I might actually use that big piece for that, because I think it was in here. Yep. And look what's on the back. Shine bright. Wouldn't that be cool? Someone receiving Happy Mail and it's got that on the back, shine bright. And then the address will go in here. And of course the little note card is going to be this. That's all that was left. And then this one, okay, it's got the square. I've got to straighten it off. I didn't do a very good job on that. So, and that was the tissue box. All right. And then, because when I started, I cut the wrong, no, some of these, why were some of these, I can't remember. So this one's going to have, it's going to be quite funny, the Tissues Australia are shoeses. I'm going to leave that on there, it looks pretty cool. And what I'll do is I'll just cut a little bit off to get rid of this. And then it just meant to be like that because it's got quite a wide flap. Okay. And the same with this one. So I've made a few. And then this one doesn't, oh yes it does, it's got that on it. So I've taken that blue part off and it still makes it look good. And what I'll do is I'll round the corners. Because I think I'll round the corners on this one, yes, which is great. So yes, so that's what I'm doing. I'm reusing these tissue boxes and making nice sturdy envelopes out of them, which will be part of Happy Mail that I'll be sending out. So how many have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. Get that with my bull clip. And of course I've already made little tags on these ones. Okay, I reckon they look pretty good. They're the little, just little gift cards, so like a little card, like a little note cards I should say. Yeah. What's that? Nothing. And that goes with the address. So I've saved quite a few. So that's my little tissue into envelope project. Then I did some eco dyeing way before Christmas, and I had a lot of rusty items because I wanted the rust effect. But of course that didn't happen, did it? It went this colour. It went like charcoal grey, with some of it's even darker. But I didn't mind it. This was a tablecloth, okay? So it was polyester and rayon and cotton, I think it was. And I wrapped all my rusty bits and my papers in this. And my papers were an A5, and I bought a sketchbook, an A4 sketchbook, and then I tore the pages in half. Did I tear them in half before or after? No. And then I put I had a chain down the bottom, put some paper on, and then put some more rusty bits on top of that, then some more paper. Then I got some plants, some greens, yellows and stuff, and weeds mainly. Put that on top, and so I've alternated that with rusty bits and weeds, plants and all that, till I had the amount that I was after. And so, but it, you know, it's beautiful. I like it. Look how dark it is on this side, you know. And the papers, of course, turned out like this. Okay. Some of them actually tall, which is okay because I use them. I've actually used them for this project that I'm going to show you in a minute. And look at, and here I actually spritz some coffee on there with my little bottle, and hence it's come out there. But there is no rust. See, I've spritzed some coffee on there, and I've kept the edges there. I really like them. Now this might be a bit of rust, but it could also be part of the weeds that I've put in there, because I had some yellow flowers. I think this was a spritz. This was coffee. But don't they look delicious? Yeah. Yeah, I had chains, nuts and bolts, but you can't really see it. And look at this. Just really like that. And you can just see some of the outline of some leaves there, but not the colour. And look at that. Doesn't that look cool? I really like that. And just here I did another bit of spritzing. It came through here. So you can't see the actual chains. See some stems of the grass. This one got really dark. Oh yes, there's a chain here. But look at that side. You know, if you don't like one side, I'm sure the other side will grab your attention. So there's some more. That's a leaf here. Actually, it's a part of a gum leaf. These were chains that had big rings on it, and it got torn, unfortunately, but that's okay. I use it for backing. So these are all torn, and I use them for backing. Okay. That was a big weed, and this was, I think that was part of the chains or something. And another spritz of coffee. So yes, so I had fun putting these together. All right, next project. So I've used this paper and this fabric, and the packaging, I get packaging from, because we have a lot of native birds, and I get packaging from my bird seeds, and I've actually got wild bird seed now, and I take out the window part. So, and that's what I've made. I'll just make sure it's in frame. There you go. So let's have a look. I'll take this off, and this is the packaging, okay? And what I do is, the wide side I use, and I cut some of that plastic off because I want the paper to adhere to paper or fabric, whereas the plastic could be a little bit tricky. So if the plastic or the cellophane is too wide, I trim it down a bit without, you know, compromising the glue. And then I use some of this fabric, and I cut out one of the little appliques that are on there, and that was the edge of the fabric, and I've cut that off. This is a bed sheet, a doona cover actually. I've got quite a bit of that left. I love using it. I've made a couple of doonas out of it. And the backing of the doona cover was in plain colour, but it coincides with this. So I thought just needed something on that just to balance it out. And again, I backed it with this really cool little vintage button. So that's it. And then of course I made a matching journaling card, and I used the paper and of course the edge of that paper just here, and a little bit of the fabric, and I used the fabric for the tab, the pull tab, and I popped on a safety pin because that way when you're holding it you're not just pulling on the fabric. And it's just plain on the back, even though the stitching there, but you can still journal on it. I think it looks pretty cool. And I've made it so that when it comes into, when it goes in, I've allowed, well, I thought this was narrower, but it wasn't. And by the time I finish, so I've got to make sure it's just nicely glued or even just sewn. And it'll probably just peek out a little bit like that. I didn't quite look at it to make sure it was the right fit, but I really like it. So by the time this is, you know, on a page, it works out really well. Now the measurements on this is about 14 centimeters by 10, which is, you know, yeah, 5.5 inches. So could even be part of a journal cover. I like using, sometimes I make things and they end up being part of a journal cover. So that's one. And then I used a pillowcase, and I wiped my hands on it with the different paints and stuff. And, you know, it turns out like this. So this is cotton, and oh, I really like it. And it's been in my little basket, and I thought I've got to start using this. So that's what that is. So what did I do? I got carried away and made another one. There she is there. And what I did was I cut out a little flower, and I've got this vintage wrapping paper, and it's slightly embossed. It's very, very old. A friend of mine gave me a whole stack of papers, and this was in it. And I just fussy cut out a flower just to pop it on there, and popped on one of my little envelopes, 3 little buttons, and I ruched it as I glued it on. I just ruched it a little bit, and then a little bit of seam binding, and I think that looks really cool. A little piece of applique, just very, very faintly. And then again I've made it so it has that tag. Here I've did a fair bit of stamping with a bit of pink little doily, and again I just put some of that fabric around, and I put some photo corner photo corners on there, and I just put that on there for a little tab, and then you can journal on the back. Okay, and again I made sure that wide side is down the bottom, and this one will fit. I left enough space there so that it just peeks out. I mean, how cool is that? I really like that. So that was number 2. Number 3, well, that's a whole different ball game. I have baby wipes, and you know, whenever you're painting, you just, well, I do, I quickly try to get it off, or inking, try to get it off my fingers. And I end up with little things like, or I should say a big piece like this. I don't have much left, and you'll see why in a minute. So that's it there. Okay. This one I've made portrait. I was going to do it like this, hence the width there, but when I found this photo, well, it just had to be a portrait style. I use a little sticker, and I stitched right around, and this is of course the baby wipe, you know, with all the different colours on there. And again, a matching tag. Now if you've been watching my videos, I accidentally put this little picture onto a open stamp pad, not realising it, and the next day when I came in, or the night, I think it was the night when I tidied up, it had this big ink stain on it, and I thought, oh well, that's the way it is. So and I think I mentioned that in one of my videos. So this is a Mumigami on the background. Here's another piece, the baby wipe, and I've just actually glued this safety pin on there just to keep it firm, just to make sure it's sturdy. Now, how did I get that name Ria? Well, we have a local oh yeah, I've got to find it. We have a local coffee shop, and it's called Galleria, if I can find it. And I usually have an espresso coffee and never really took any notice of it. And it had Galleria on it. And I thought, oh, I might take this home. I said to the girl, don't throw it, I'll keep it. And that's what that is. So I just, you know, tore it out and used it as Ria. So her name is Ria. As you can see, a bit of stamping. And on the back, I did something different. I used one of my little envelopes, and inside the envelope is another envelope. I said there's another envelope, which I hope hasn't glued onto it because I was too impatient. Just bear with me. Yep. It glued itself on the back. I can't believe that. Can I take it out? Yes, I can. Oh, jeez. So it has an envelope inside an envelope, and you can actually journal in this, maybe a little secret little message. Okay. And that just goes in here. And that sort of holds that in place. Plenty of journaling spot there. Okay. So that's that. So that's Ria. But didn't that come out really cool? I really liked it. I really like doing these. And I'm making a garden / botanical journal, I suppose you could call it, maybe botanical journal. And I'll be using her in that. So yeah, so how cool is that? And I'll probably be using this in my grunge journal because I really like this. And then here she is. She might go in one of my happy mails. So let me know of your thoughts. I really enjoyed making them. And then of course, yeah, you save everything, don't you? It's just so much. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys, because it's, you know, tissue boxes into envelopes and packaging into, you know, beautiful window pockets with matching journaling card. And then my experiment with the Ecodyne that didn't work out. I wanted to work out, but it came out better, I reckon. Alright guys, until next time, you know what you've got to do. Happy crafting. This is probably maybe my last video before Australia Day. So for any Aussies out here, have a really good Australia Day. And I think the weather's going to be alright. It's about 42 here today, so it's quite hot. And yeah, hope this inspires you to not throw away the tissue boxes. And where are they? Where are they? Oh, they're not putting stuff away. Oh, here they are. So yeah, so don't throw away the tissue boxes. All right, until next time, bye.